Hey everybody, it's Joel Toppin here. I haven't done a video in a while. Apologies for that. Life's busy. What can I say? Well, we've been working on some VASSAL modules, and I've been doing actually a lot of playtest stuff for guys. So bear with me as I'm trying to get my backlog back in action. Try to get some of these games done that I've wanted to do for a while. In the Shadows is shipping. It's one of the new games from GMT, and we did a VASSAL module for this, and it's pretty slick. I think we're just about ready to go live with this. Thought I'd do a quick video, show you a little bit about the module. We'll type these up in the instructions. You'll be able to find those instructions in the help bar. It's not in there yet. I haven't typed them up yet, but that's where they'll appear when I get those ready to go. The module is very straightforward, a little bit of automation just to help with the ergonomics. The game comes pre-set up, and the only thing you really got to do at the beginning is either drag your Maquis unit into sector R1, or you can, in any sector, left click or right click on the sector box that has the code number R1, P4, whatever. And from there, you can generate pieces from the pieces tray, or you can recruit from the random draw pile over here in the lower left of the screen. Or if the Maquis is available, it'll say that you can place a Maquis there. So after that, the game's ready to go. The hand, I did something different with this game. Since there are only 2 cards to be held in hand, I put the hands on the main display. Now, you as the viewer watching my video, you can see everything because I'm logged in as solo. That gives me master ability to see everything. There is no bot in this. This is the 2-player version that we're making for VASSAL. This is not the solitaire version we're making for VASSAL. But I have a solitaire mode so I can do videos and stuff like this. And so what would happen is if I was the Resistance, all I would be able to see is what's in my hand. Over here, I would just see the back of the card, which looks like this up here. So this is where the deck is situated, and I'm probably going to add a deck counter so players can keep track of, how much is left in the deck. So that's what's going on with the hands. Now, how the game is played is you select a card from your hand. Like, we're going to probably start with Pearl Witherington. So I left click on the card, and if I just hit the return key on my keyboard, it will select the card just like in my Charioteer VASSAL module, or you can right click and choose to select the card. But I find the return key works pretty good. If your card is face down, you just hover your mouse over it. The mouse over will show you the full text at good, big, high resolution, so you should be able to read the text just fine. And privately, your opponent will not be able to see that. Notice that it puts the little Cross of Lorraine down in the lower right-hand corner, as well as a check mark here showing you've selected the card. This is important. This shows that the Resistance has selected this card, and that happens because the card happens to be in the hand of the Resistance, which is basically these 2 spaces right here on the board. For the Germans, the occupation, we're going to go ahead and select Rationment, and we'll do the same thing. Just hit the return key, and you'll see it put a Balkan cross in the lower right-hand corner showing that the Germans have selected that card. Now, the card is, again, face down for the other player, so we have to reveal these simultaneously, and this is where, if you're playing by email, it can get really aggravating because only the owner of the card can reveal their card. I've set up a kind of a Rube Goldberg mechanism that does this for you with the click of a button, and this is where the automation is in the game. All you gotta do is hit the reveal cards button up here, and boom, it will just flip both cards over for both players. It unmasks it. It will retain the Balkan cross and the Cross of Lorraine just for now until the card is deleted, or discarded rather. So since the initiative values are tied, let's just say that the Resistance would go first with Pearl Witherington. It might be helpful to drag the card around, maybe put it over here on the map. I wouldn't recommend putting it in the Bay of Biscay because that's where resolution cards are going to show up, so I'd recommend maybe putting it maybe down here or something. And then you can see there is a space for drawing new cards into your hand. There's a little plus button, and that's where you're going to get your cards. Or you can drag and drop from the deck as you prefer. So we'll go ahead and do the event, and we'll just go ahead and stick Pearl. Now, Pearl has to be gotten out of the pieces tray manually, so we're going to put Pearl, say, maybe in here. And then, yeah, we're ready to go. We got 5 action points. Now you can drag and drop this, or you can use the side, the right arrow, left arrow key to move this around. I don't, whatever is easiest for you to manipulate. But we're going to need some cells, so we'll go ahead and try to recruit some resistance here. To draw resolution cards, all you got to do is hit the resolution button on your toolbar, or you can drag manually from the deck. It's a random pull from there. We'll just go ahead and pull one out, and of course our recruit is a failure because that's how it works for me. I have never won as the resistance because my cards suck. All right, you can hit Option Escape to delete or to discard those, or you can use the button on your toolbar to get rid of those. And we can try Sabotage. And now that worked astonishingly well, actually. Okay, we get to move the Wheel of Fortune twice. How about them apples? All right, so we've done 2 actions here in this sector. If you want to put pawns down, I only have one color of pawn, but you might find it helpful to put a pawn to say, hey, you know what? I recruited here. If I recruit again, it's going to cost an extra AP. You know, that sort of thing can be helpful to keep track of what you've done. I've also put movement trails. I know some people hate them, but in a game like this, it might be helpful to see, hey, I moved this guy around without cluttering up pawns. That allows me to use the pawns maybe in a little more efficient way to mark what I've done. I think it's more important for the resistance player than maybe for the occupation. To get rid of those, hit the escape key on your keyboard or the move button up here. I love the escape key for getting rid of movement trails. It's just, I don't know why it took me so long to figure out that that would be a good option for Vassal modules, but there you go. So there, that is done. You know what? Got 3 action points left. How about let's go ahead and try another draw. We'll get rid of our resolution card, and we did recruit successfully this time. That did cost us 2, by the way. So we'll go ahead and recruit. Now that's giving a random pull from that that pool over there, and then we have 1 action point remaining. Shoot, you know what? I forgot to put an alert marker. There we go. Well, nuts. I don't have the ability. I don't have the ability really to do much else. There's nobody to ambush there. I miscalculated. What I probably should have done is moved him over and maybe ambushed or something. But what can I say? That might have been a good move. But, well, there we go. We're probably going to have to waste our last AP. And you know what? Maybe I keep losing as a resistance because I'm just a terrible player, too. That's entirely in the realm of possibility. So we're going to discard that card. For Pearl, it might be helpful to just drag that back out. You know, just leave it on the map here as a reminder of what that card's going to do because it's got a persistent effect. It's one of 2 cards that are going to do that. Alrighty, so that is our that's basically how the module is going to work. Super easy. If you do a shift escape, it'll get rid of all your pawns. Alt escape gets rid of any of the resolution cards that you've drawn. If you draw, let's go ahead and draw it here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to just draw a bunch of these. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to discard all of these except for the reshuffle. Okay, if you pull the reshuffle card, when you discard that, it will automatically reshuffle and reconstitute that deck. So that's something you want to be alert to. You don't have to manually do that, but if for some reason it doesn't, there's a weird sequence of events where that could happen. If it happens, right-click on here and you can choose to reshuffle manually. It's no problem. All right, to draw new cards, just to show you how that works, you just click the little plus button. See, you can click anywhere around here, won't do anything, but if you click the plus button, it will draw a new card. Now, some of these cards, I'm kind of glad I pulled this one. Let me just show you. Some of these cards allow you to draw 2 cards from the deck, keep 1, and then return the other to the event deck and shuffle. Here's how I recommend you handle it. I recommend you do it manually. Just pull 1 and then 2 and say, you know what? I don't like this card. I think I'll throw that one back. And then this one here, I will just come down and drag it right back into my hand here. be sure to drag it into your hand. If you don't, like, let me flip this girl upside down here. If I hit the return key out here, outside of my hand, it doesn't do anything. It's only functional if it's in my hand. Okay, so, and one of the things I do have to do is make a deselect option. So if you change your mind before you commit, I realize now that I haven't installed that capability. So that's one more little tweak I'll make to the VASSAL module is to take care of that. So that's basically how the module is going to work. Whenever the confiscated resources gets to the end here, nothing automatically happens. Come on. And you'll move the marker. Marker is going to show up behind the cells, the wooden pieces here. And then what you can do with these is just right click and hit return to available, and it'll throw it down here and stick it upside down for you. If you get, by the way of event, the opportunity to pull something off of here manually, just remember to do a Control F or right click on it to hit it face down, and that will make it so that it's in its covert mode. And of course, deleting markers like alert, you just right click on it to take care of that. Yeah, I don't have a mechanism to, like, if you use Pearl or the Butcher of Lyon, you have to manually, reset those at the end of the round. So make sure you do that. I don't have any automatic feature for that. Play aid cards are in here, of course. You have a tab for the occupation, and I mean, they're huge. The graphics are huge, but I did it because, we're getting older. Our eyes aren't as great. And some of the text on here is quite small. So I made them extra big to be helpful to the players that might find that useful. Resolution from the back page of the rule book. I find this to be probably the most helpful play aid of all. So I threw this also into the module. And that's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward thing. I think the key things to remember is, to select your card. It's got to be in your hand. So if you're, having to, put something back in your hand, make sure you put it back down in this area before you, try to use that return key functionality. Okay, I'm Joel Toppin. This is In the Shadows, new VASSAL module. We'll probably go live with this some point later this week. Hope you enjoy the video, and really hope you enjoy the game and the upcoming VASSAL module.